Hello and welcome back to Marky Marks Stream. This is last time we finished the game 100%. All trophies. Finally, it took over 60 hours. So that's just the stuff I showed on screen.
Don't listen to him. We didn't 100% the game. We only 50% of the game because he still has to do it again for the full experience.
You're never gonna let this die, are you? Right, well, there's the stuff in our reports and mementos to go through, so let's just get started.
Are we doing mementos this time, not reports?
Well, I figured we'd start with this because it'll probably take less time.
The most
Probably.
time, you said?
Are you just giving up what he's saying on purpose?
I don't know. I guess we'll go hand off.
Alright, I'll start then. First place sleep. Master Xehanort had decided to abandon his pupil Ventus on Destiny Islands. Boy's heart was fractured, useless. His heart was saved when a new heart found Ventus and helped him fill the void. Several years passed, and Ventus forgot what had happened. He had found a new home in the land of departure, a sacred ground defended by a long line of Keyblade masters. Oh, I need to get my death counter back over just so I can use that sound effect. Hold on, this is important. Okay. For,
Keyblade!
Masters. There, he met two other youths named Aqua and Terra. And together, they trained with Master Ericus to become
Keyblade!
Masters. Are you able to hear it this time, or...?
Unfortunately not, but I will assume when it's my turn, you will have it handled.
Yep. Alright, so, both Aqua and Terra should have been named
Keyblade!
Masters, but Master Xehanort intervened, convincing Ericus to test his pupils with a Mark of Mastery examination. While Aqua passed the test, Terra did not, creating a rift between him and his friends. Shortly after came tidings of Unversed, strange creatures that thrived on negativity, and Master Xehanort had broken off all communication. Terra left to solve both mysteries. Ventus ran away with his friend. As for Aqua, Ericus tasks her with keeping Terra under surveillance and bringing Ventus home as soon as possible. Okay, I'm disappointed by the lack of our trigger words for these readings. I've only gotten a couple Keyblades so far. Thus, their journey began. During Terra's travels, Master Xehanort fiddled away at the young man's ethics, convincing him that okay, thank you for that. Were equally important in that a balance must be kept. That's where Ventus met Mickey, another trainee, and found himself crossing
Keyblade!
with a mysterious masked boy named Vanitas. The three friends were reunited in Radiant Garden, but too much had changed. Terra felt betrayed by Ericus and Aqua, and retreated deeper into Xehanort's clutches. Ventus sided with Terra and ran off again, and Aqua was left to deal with a mixture of guilt, concern, and love. And how long is this?
Look, they're summarizing the whole game, okay?
They are. Guided by fate, perhaps Terra arrived at Destiny Islands and met Riku. He decided to bequeath the power of the
Keyblade!
to this little boy, who reminded him so much of himself. Sometime after, Aqua visited these same islands and discovered what Terra had done. She too found a kindred spirit in Riku's friend Sora, and told the boy to stick by his friend and guide him even through the darkest of times. Ventus had made a discovery of his own. While rescuing Mickey, he was confronted by Master Xehanort and learned about his connection to a weapon called the
Keyblade!
Ventus returned to Master Ericus in search of answers about his past. But the truth was a disaster. When it happened, Master Ericus had no choice but to lock his people's heart away to keep that disaster contained. Terra arrived just in the nick of time and battled with his master to protect his friend. But this was exactly what Master Xehanort had hoped for. Terra watched in horror as his new mentor struck the weakened Ericus down. He had been called Gasp.
Look here, hold on. I'm calling BS. Freaking Ericus wasn't trying to lock his heart. He was trying to kill him.
Like, that was not even subtle. There was no locking hearts away. That didn't come up once.
locking anything away. Literally, he was like, I'm gonna kill you so you can't make this happen.
Terra tried to move Ventus someplace safe, the Destiny Islands. But Vanitas, the boy with the mask, was already there. Join with me. Become the...
Keyblade!
He said. But then Ventus remembered the truth. Vanitas was a part of him. The darkness had been extracted from his heart. Led by Destiny, Terra, Ventus, and Aqua assembled in the
Keyblade!
graveyard. In the distance, Master Xehanort and Vanitas appeared. A violent clash ensued, and at the end of it, Terra's body was possessed by Xehanort. Meanwhile, Ventus, having been forced into a clash with his counterpart, Vanitas, chose the destruction of them both to prevent the
Keyblade!
from being forged. The aftermath, Mickey was able to rescue Aqua and Ventus, but Ventus went out, and Terra was nowhere to be found. Aqua's journey was not over. I know, 0.2 exists. Aqua recalled her master's teachings. After finding a safe place for Ventus to rest, she locked the lane of departure, which would eventually come to be known as Castle Oblivion. Ventus's heart had been nearly snuffed out, so he retreated to the safety of Sora's heart. Sora's heart! The same new planet that saved him once before. Aqua found and confronted Xehanort, who had possessed Terra's body. After a long fight, Aqua dove into the darkness, sacrificed herself to usher Terra back into the realm of... Aqua wandered the realm of darkness for a decade before meeting a stranger there. The stranger told her about a certain boy who had become savior of all worlds. When Aqua heard the boy's name, tears filled her eyes and her face became beamed with hope. And that's all that's here. Okay, hopefully this is one of the longer ones, but I kinda doubt it.
I watched 358 Days Over 2 be the longest.
It probably will.
Yeah, I get to read the first Kingdom Hearts
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is substantially shorter too. Look at the size of the bars.
Yeah, I know. Well, I love Kingdom Hearts. Sora, Riku, and Kairi had always dreamed of the outside world. On a beach in the Destiny Islands, the three friends began building a raft. One day, a stranger in a brown robe confronted Sora and told him, "This world has been connected." That night, the skies were hit by a storm and engulfed by darkness. Sora found himself in possession of a mysterious key-shaped sword called a
Keyblade!
and was separated from Riku and Kairi. I assumed you pressed the button.
I did, and your timing to start again was perfect.
Good. I always take a guess. Other worlds had met the same fate, and more would. Meanwhile, the king of Disney Castle had gone missing. His closest subjects, Donald and Goofy, set off to find someone with a key, just as their liege's farewell letter had instructed. Sora had awoken in a place called Traverse Town, and it was there where he learned what was expected of a
Keyblade!
wielder. He joined forces with Donald and Goofy, and the trio continued their search for Riku, Kairi, and King Mickey. You notice how this story, we're almost halfway through it, and it's way more simpler and less convoluted than Birth by Sleep?
Oh yeah! You're not the first person to criticize it, and you won't be the last.
Each world they visited had revealed a keyhole, which led to the heart of each world, and creatures called Heartless, manifestations of the darkness within us. We're trying to get at it. With
Keyblade!
in hand, Sora took down the Heartless and unlocked the keyholes. Manipulating the Heartless were Maleficent and her League of Villains. Maleficent had tricked Riku into helping her gather the pure hearts of 7 princesses who would grant her dominion over all worlds. By the time Sora caught up with Riku in Hollow Bastion,
I'd like
his
to
friend
skipped over most of the plot of the game right there.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Like, all that was at the beginning, and now we're at the end game. Like, the rest of it doesn't matter.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of stuff didn't really happen on the in-betweens in Kingdom Hearts 1. Besides, like, coming of age stuff, so, you know.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that was kind of true of Birth by Sleep too, but it didn't feel quite as jarring. Maybe it's because there's the 3 stories.
Yeah, maybe. I think. Oh yeah, let me just reread from the top. By the time Sora caught up with Riku and Hollow Bastion, his friend had succumbed to the darkness. But a good thrashing only made things worse. The defeated Riku was possessed by Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. Sora defeated Maleficent and found himself face to face with his greater threat. Ansem was trying to complete the keyhole to a doorway that led to the heart of all worlds. Kingdom Hearts. Oh, sorry, and Heart. After discovering Kairi's heart was inside him, Sora tried to release her and turned into a Heartless. But the light in Kairi's heart changed him back. Sora
that one
knew.
paragraph probably had more of the light, dark part, all that, than any of the stuff Birth by Sleep's mentioned. Like,
Which is very bizarre, might we add. Sora knew he had to close the final keyhole. As a parting gift, Kairi gave him a good luck charm made of thalassa shells to ensure a safe voyage. Because remember, they were on an island before. Sora promised he would return it someday, then set off. Did he say he would return it? I always thought he just said he would keep it. But, okay.
I think there was, there was a line from Kairi saying, "You better give it back to me," so I guess it was implied.
Oh, okay. He followed Ansem all the way to the hearts of the darkness that had swallowed the world and had defeated him, but Kingdom Hearts had already been opened. My dogs are barking. Sora was able to close the door. Oh god, the image change confused me. Sora was able to close the door again with the help of Riku and King Mickey, who stayed trapped in the realm of darkness on the other side. Sora decided not to return to his home world and began a new journey with Donald and Goofy to find Riku and the King. Shout out to Sora.
This is an amazing picture.
Yes, it is. And shout out to Sora not even telling his parents. He could have went back and told his parents.
Nope, didn't say a word. You know what the very least he has a mother. Just nothing.
His dinner is gonna be so cold and rotten by the time he gets to eat it.
What is
oh,
this?
Yes, you get the best game. Have fun.
Oh boy. Sora, Donald, and Goofy had been searching for Riku and King Mickey for some time before Sora came face to face with a man in a black coat. Yeah, you're used to that, buddy. He guided them to a place called Castle Oblivion. There, the man gave them a card, which he said is protect from Sora's memories. Sora and friends began exploring the worlds within this, and other cards like it. Marluxia, the man in the black coat and member of the organization, was using the powers of a girl named Nami to manipulate Sora's memory to take control of Sora's
Keyblade!
Serving the organization were nobodies, a special type of being created when a person's heart was stolen and only their body and spirit remained. Okay, so here too, they're trying to act like hearts, spirits, and souls and all that are different. Like, what?
They never were.
It makes no sense. As Sora made his way through the castle, his memories of Kairi were replaced with those of Naminé. He had to fight Riku, who appeared in his dome and claimed Naminé was his to protect. Sora won out, and Riku vanished. One by one, Sora defeated the organization members who stood in his path. One of them, Axel, proved more slippery than the others, seemed to be neither friend nor foe. Sora also learned that the Riku he had fought was just a replica manufactured by the organization. Of course!
Excuse me, that's a lie. Axel was definitely not a friend in this game.
Yeah, no,
nor did he really
not.
act like one.
I guess he was more friendly than some of the others, but...
He was more friendly than some of the others, but he was acting completely neutral in Sora's eyes, because he had another agenda to worry about.
With this Riku replica's help, Sora was able to strike Marluxia down. Naminé confessed to Sora what she had done but he did not hold it against her, because he's an idiot. She offered him a choice. He could either put his scattered memories back the way they were and lose all memory of this castle, or keep his memories the way they were now. Sora chose to get his old memories back by going into a deep sleep until they could be repaired. But first, he promised Naminé that she would not be forgotten and that they would meet again. Yeah, that turned out great.
That was Naminé's fault, though. Also, it should literally...
Sora's side is Naminé's fault.
Also, it should literally just end here and say, Riku came to terms with the darkness in him to use it for the greater good. There, the end. They don't need a blurb for this.
They really don't. But then again, if you're gonna simplify things that hard, you could just easily simplify it. Sora was an amnesiac idiot that decided to stop being an idiot. The end.
Oh, true. Trust me. If I had it my way, this would not be as long as it is because it has no reason to be as long as it is here. They don't even talk about how the whole organization betrayal thing and all that stuff was going on.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't even go on. Well, I mean, I guess in the grand scheme, it doesn't really matter so much here. They might mention it in the day's blurb.
Maybe, yeah.
Meanwhile, Riku had found his way out of the realm between and darkness. Led by a mysterious voice. Yep, definitely mysterious. He made his way to Castle Oblivion, but the voice turned out to be Ansem's. Riku made his way through the castle, battling Ansem, the darkness within him at every step.
Look, it was a mysterious voice. He changed the voice actors. He didn't understand.
Yeah, you're right, of course. The organization had also noticed the darkness in Riku's heart and sought to use it to their own ends. While facing Lexaeus, one of the organization's members, Riku was forced to summon the darkness within him and succumb to it. But somewhere far away, he heard King Mickey calling out to him. Knowing King Mickey was watching over him, gave Riku strength to press on through the castle. That was a little too fast. With the power of darkness proving too great a temptation, Riku again seemed ready to be overtaken by Ansem. This time, King Mickey came to his rescue in person. Somehow. The king gave him a special card. Inside the card world, he discovered that the Ansem he had been fighting was actually a man named Diz. The man told Riku to find Naminé and disappear.
Wow, what an asshole.
Just put that in a card at the bottom. It says, Diz, what an asshole. That's Alright, before Riku could reach Naminé, he was confronted by the Riku replica. The real Riku won out, and the replica seemingly vanished. Yeah, where did I hear this one before? Naminé offered to lock away Riku's memory of Ansem, but Riku knew that he had to face the darkness in his heart himself. He prevailed over Ansem and departed Castle Oblivion with Mickey by his side. From then on, he resolved to shoulder both in darkness and walk the road to dawn.
I mean, that's balonky. He did not have to do it himself. He could have literally just got rid of the memories in him.
Actually, not as bad as I thought it would be. Like, how long does Birthplace Sleeps again? Yeah, Birthplace Sleeps is longer.
Kingdom Hearts 2 realistically should have the longest, but we will see.
I feel like it might actually be on the short end, like maybe a little longer than KH1, not by much.
Maybe. Yeah, okay. When Roxas first became part of the organization, he spent his days on missions collecting hearts and befriending another member called Axel. However, when Axel was sent to Castle Oblivion on a special mission, Roxas teamed up with the organization's 14th member, a girl named Shion. Slowly, the two warmed to each other. I honestly misread warmed as married, and I was like, what?
To this day, I'm still severely bothered by the fact that they are called Organization 13 and they got a 14th member.
Yeah, that is very suspicious. Why did nobody question that?
Seriously!
Once Axel returned from his mission, he, Roxas, and Shion developed a routine of ending each busy day by having ice cream atop the Twilight. Hey, they should have specified the ice cream. By having ice cream atop the Twilight Town Clock Tower. There, they talked about work, friendship, their memories, and the meaning of a heart.
Also, they always made a point to talk about for sea salt ice cream, and how it was salty yet sweet at the same time. Also got it memorized. That was all very important.
Yes, ridiculously important, in fact. One day, Shion was ordered to dispatch an imposter, Riku, who had donned the organization's robes to protect Sora. But Shion was overpowered and told her was a sham.
Screwed up there.
After failing a second mission, she slipped into a coma. When
Keyblade!
I know
Shion...
yellow Keyblade.
Oh, okay. You didn't do it? You were slacking?
Nah. Yeah, I saw the word, but I didn't register to hit the button.
When Shion finally awoke, Roxas' daily routine resumed a kind of normalcy. But something in his friend had changed. Slowly, Shion began to question her own existence. Dang, imagine having an existential crisis in your teenage years.
Alright. Never heard of that
Hun-
before.
On day 255, Shion visited Castle Oblivion and discovered what she was. Roxas waited for Shion at the clock tower, but she never came. The next day, he learned she deserted the organization. Roxas tracked her down and tried to convince her to return, but Shion drew her
Keyblade!
threateningly. It was only once Axel appeared that he and Roxas were able to bring her back by force. At least it ended there. Ooh, beautiful image.
Yeah, seriously, look at this. Oh man, I love
It's
it. That might be
beautiful.
thumbnail worthy.
It looks like he's screaming at the ground.
Or himself.
After learning some of the truth about Shion, Roxas found his own existence thrown into question. He lost faith in Axel and the organization, who had kept so much hidden from him, and decided to run away. Meanwhile, Shion had tracked down a girl named Namine and decided to return her share of Sora's memories to their owner. Axel hunted her down and made a double-edged promise. Keep running and I'll always be there to bring you back. Got it memorized? After barely
Ice cream.
managing to keep that promise, Axel collapsed, and Zemnos, the organization's leader, took Shion away. Gosh dang it, Zemnos. Aimlessly, Roxas found himself wandering toward the clock tower. There, Shion revealed herself to be not a her at all, but a faceless puppet that the organization had created as a cage for Sora's memories. The last of those memories were inside Roxas Sora's nobody, and she would have to take them from him to become a complete Sora replica. I'm sorry, Roxas Sora's nobody is just the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I mean, it's correct, it's just really stupid.
Yeah. The two fought, and Shion got her wish. She was defeated. As the memories that made her return to Sora, she ceased to exist and vanished from the minds of all who knew her. Confused and angry, Roxas decided to challenge Zemnos and the organization, free the hearts they had collected, and destroy Kingdom Hearts. But Roxas was not strong enough to win, and if he fell here, Sora would never awaken, so Riku confronted him. In his mind, Riku heard the last wish of a girl whose name he could no longer remember to stop Roxas. He nearly failed and had to allow the darkness in his heart to take over before he was able to subdue Roxas. A boy named Roxas woke up in his room in Twilight Town after having another strange dream. Excited, he ran off to meet his friends at their usual spot. Only 7 days of summer vacation left. Notice how when the blurb isn't spammed with darkness, heart, and light, that it just so happens to be the... It's not only that, but it also so happens to be the game with probably the best story out of the bunch in this series.
Yeah? Yeah. Alright, let's... Oh boy, yeah, this is a long one.
Yep, it's
about
Birth
the
by
length of
Sleep.
Birth by Sleep.
It's a little shorter, but not by much.
Rick just woke up
No.
in his room in Twilight Town after having another strange dream. With 7 days left in his summer vacation, and he would be spending the time with his best friends. I'm sorry, I can't get you off there. What were you trying to say?
No, don't worry about it. It's not important.
Oh, okay. The strange things began happening around him. White masks, monsters called Dusks, the key-shaped sword called the
Keyblade.
materialized in his hand. On the last day of his vacation, Roxas remembered who he really was and what he had been trying to do. He found Sora sleeping in a pod and realized his summer vacation would have to end. With Roxas's demise, the last of Sora's memories returned to him. He woke from a year of sleep. It was a joyful reunion with Donald and Goofy, which stuck by him all through his slumber, because they were asleep too. Jiminy examined their journal, a record of their last journey, but it was blank except for a single phrase. Thank Nominee. I'm disappointed by the lack of lighthearted darkness in this so far.
We're not in that part of the story yet.
You're right. With King Mickey's guidance, the group found their way to the mysterious tower, whose master, the sorcerer Yen Sid, alerted them to a new threat. Nobodies, who served a group dressed in black coats known as Organization 13. Never heard of them before. And so it was that Sora, Donald, and Goofy, specifically in that order, set off on a new adventure.
I'm glad they kept it in that specific order.
In Hollow Bastion, Sora was reunited with his old friends and learned that the Heartless were still causing trouble. While dealing with them in the Nobodies, Sora had his first encounter with the organization since waking. While chasing its members from world to world, he learned that Kairi had been kidnapped by the organization back in Twilight Town. On a second visit to Hollow Bastion, Sora and friends found themselves trapped inside a computer owned by Ansem the Wise. They repaired the program and returned to the real world, where they were finally reunited with King Mickey. And boy did he have a surprise to share! It turned out that the Ansem Sora had fought defeated was not really Ansem at all! Okay, you can only pull this surprise so many times before it stops being a surprise.
Bro, what's even happening anymore?
I don't know. Ansem the Wise had been an apprentice named Xehanort, who turned into a... Yes. This Heartless stole his master's name, Ansem, while the nobody that was created in the process, Xemnos, became the leader of the organization. During an epic battle of the Heartless, Sora finally got a glimpse of this new adversary. Sora's search for Kairi brought him back to Twilight Town. By using the alternate version of the town where Roxas spent his summer vacation, Sora and the others found a way into the realm of darkness. We're just now getting to the final world, and we're only halfway through this.
However, to be fair, they skipped a lot of stuff midway through that was kind of important, but whatever.
I mean, they're only skipping over the Disney World stuff, which isn't super important.
Kingdom Hearts 2 probably had the most stuff that was semi-important.
At least I'm told.
Because organization members came in out of nowhere, so... Anyways, continue.
Yeah. However, along the way they were ambushed by a horde of Dusks. So one of the organization's members came to the rescue and sacrificed himself to protect Sora, who was in a way also his best friend Roxas. Don't ask questions. At last Sora had reached Organization 13's homeworld, the world that never was. He infiltrated the castle, leaving defeated organization members in his wake, and finally found Kairi, who was also reunited with Riku, who had been transfigured into Ansem as a result of using the darkness within him. Thankfully, Riku's true form was restored. I really wish I used a different picture for this. White on white is never a good idea.
Yeah.
Like, even with that outline, it was hard to read. They met the real Ansem the Wise, who had assumed the name Diz, and whose blind quest for vengeance against the apprentices who had betrayed him had brought ruin to Roxas and countless others. Realizing the error of his ways, Ansem the Wise blew up the organization's Kingdom Hearts as atonement, was himself engulfed in the blast. Top the castle, near what remained of Kingdom Hearts, Sora and the others confronted and defeated Xemnos. Nominee opened the gateway home, Symbolically, she and Roxas accepted their place of Sora and Kairi, people they had come from.
Wait, that was symbolically? I thought it was like actuality.
Yeah, I thought it was literal. What? Okay, well, moving on. As Sora and Riku tried to follow Kairi and the others out, the gate suddenly closed. Zemnos had survived, and Sora and Riku were flung into a final battle. They were able to dispatch Zemnos, but there was no escape from the realm of darkness. At the dark margin, they stared out to sea, ready to give up. Then a letter in a bottle washed up. It's from Kairi. A door to the appeared, leading them back to their home, the Destiny Islands, where all their friends were waiting. Yeah, all of them, not just Kairi. Like, everybody just decided to move there suddenly. Don't ask questions. Not long after, Sora and Riku were watching the sunset when Kairi presented them with a letter she had found. Whatever was in the letter convinced the three of them that their journey was not over. Ellipses.
It's kind of jarring that they use this is the first CG cutscene,
Yeah,
I think.
was gonna say that too. Alright, this is probably gonna be the shortest by a month.
Oh yeah, I get the best one. Why is this as long as it is? Well, hope you guys are ready
find
to
out.
know about the greatest game of them all. Jimmy was surprised to find a mysterious message in one of his journals, which was supposed to be blank. Their hurting will be mended when you return to end it. God, I hate it. To help better understand the message, King Mickey created a datascape from the worlds within the journal. But the datascape was riddled with bugs, and the king had to rely on a digital version of Sora to debug the journal from the inside. Because of course he did.
Of course.
While exploring the Destiny Island's datascape, a figure in a black coat explained that uncovering the keyholes was the only way to mend the worlds. Sora found the keyhole in Traverse Town and used it to reach the next world. As he did, a new message appeared in the journal back at Disney Castle, and the king was alarmed to discover the castle had been invaded by Heartless. Worse yet, he and the others were now trapped in the library. Again, Sora came face to face with the figure in the black coat, and this time, when he followed the stranger, he found himself in the same room as King Mickey and the others. How had they wound up in the same place? The figure in the black coat turned out to be a digital version of Riku, who explained what was going on. This makes no sense. He had been chosen by the journal as backup storage to protect its data. That makes no sense. It's a journal. Now Riku and the journal were one and the same, and he had brought Mickey and the others into the datascape to help them solve the mysterious message. Why is this a story?
I mean, to be fair, this whole story is fundamentally flawed, and they decided, let's turn a book into a digital world.
Yeah, but I like how
everything else
ridiculous.
responds from that.
I like how it gets more ridiculous though. That like digital Sora is somehow there, that everybody's somehow here, and then Riku's here because he was a backup the entire time, and he's just like, "Yo, guys, you're in the digital world." That cutscene is so good though. I love it. Just then, someone took over the pathway between the datascape and the real world. There was no way out. Sora set off to repair more worlds and secure a way home for his friends. It turned out Maleficent and her henchman Pete were the culprits. They were plotting to release the darkness inside the datascape into the real world. Sora tried to stop her, but she destroyed his Keyblade and kidnapped Riku. The king
You're
sent...
supposed to let me hit it.
Oh,
Keyblade?
sorry.
It's fine, I played it anyway.
There's been such little Keyblades, and
Oh, I know, there's barely any Lightheart Keyblade darkness.
It's kind of jarring for the series, you know? The king went after Riku, and Sora went after Riku, and Sora went after the king. Sora's friendship with Donald and Goofy gave him the power to recreate the
Keyblade.
He had infected Riku with bugs and tried to pit the two friends against each other, but after a short fight, the infected Riku collapsed. Sora dove into Riku's datascape to save his friend and defeated Maleficent inside. I hate this. However, it wasn't until he took out his own Heartless, the original bug which had been threatening to delete the whole datascape, that the journal was finally restored. But because restoring the journal was tantamount, I can read, to overriding all record of all of this newest journey, Data Sora and King Mickey had to say goodbye. It's okay, he's just a fake data version. However, the mysterious message was still a mystery. So all of that was worth nothing. Back in the real world, King Mickey and the others received a message from Data Riku that extra data had been found. This is a journal and it makes no sense. They would need Data Sora's help one last time. The extra data was a special world designed to make Sora learn how to cope with hurt. What does that even mean? When Data Sora was finally ready to escape that hurt, Naminé appeared before him. Ready to accept. Wait, did I not say accept?
You said escape.
Oh, sorry. Accept that hurt. Naminé appeared. Yeah, I already read that part. She explained that inside him were special memories that belonged to people connected to the real Sora, people who were hurting. The mysterious message was her way of reaching out to him, preparing him for that truth. King Mickey promised Naminé that they would undo all the hurt. Why did they use the word hurt? I hate it. Back in the real world, he wrote a letter to the real Sora and explained there were others out there that only Sora could save. I had to put in my little comments because the story of that godforsaken story is just I don't even know what's going on.
I mean, to be fair, it's actually one of the easier stories in the game to follow. It's just
It's
has
just
a fundamentally stupid concept. And that's for Kingdom Hearts in general, which is already a stupid concept.
Freaking the hurt and everything. What? How far are we in the video?
We're almost 40 minutes in.
Oh god.
Do we even dare this?
I don't know. That feels like it'd probably be another 40 minutes. Depends on if you're willing to deal with another 40 minutes.
It's gonna take an eternity, isn't it? Like, what about all these? It probably won't take too long.
We should take a look at how long or how big the scroll bars are and gauge it from that.
It's about the same length as. Oh, can I switch
But there's less text.
Oh, I can't switch between them both, so it doesn't actually matter what character I use this time.
Yeah, but I'm not reading both of them. Gosh darn it.
Well, guess what? It's here, so we're reading it.
Not both sides.
Oh,
heck
yes,
no.
we are.
Oh, the heck no. You can
Heck
read the
yes.
one side. I'll snooze while you do that. We didn't do that for Birth by Sleep.
That's because it wasn't an option in Birth by Sleep.
You could have just swapped characters, but you decided not to.
I wanted to. You wouldn't let me.
And I'm not letting you now.
Hey, it's an option now.
It was an option before, and I'm still
No, it
not
wasn't.
letting you. I'm not letting you.
Too bad we're doing it.
Check the glossary. Well, if we're doing that, then we definitely can't do this right now. Otherwise, it'll take way too long.
That's fair. You wanted me to check the glossary, right?
Yeah, I was curious on how long the glossary.
Oh, yeah. These don't look like they're gonna be anywhere near as long.
Then maybe we should go over the spirits and stuff now and save the glossary and the story for the next part. How long are the character files?
Yeah, looks like they're gonna be about the same length as Birth by Sleep's.
Okay. Yeah. We can go through the what's it called, I guess. The Dream Eaters.
Alright.
and Dream Eaters and Nightmares. Who wants to have the Nightmares and who wants to have the Dream Eaters?
I mean, it's the same thing.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll just hand it off then.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like the enemies defeated number changes any either, so...
Okay, that's good.
Alright, so... you had done the last race, so let's do this one. Yeah, wow. Enemies defeated. 197. Cat or dog, boy or girl, friend or fiend. One thing's for sure, this Dream Eater is adorable. Warning, fire freaks it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Tama Sheep, enemies defeated. 48. This roly-poly Dream Eater loves to sleep. So will opponents. It gets its lamb chops on. At least its defenses are, mutton to worry about.
Yogaidr. Enemies defeated, 114. What do rams do? They ram you. Real talk. Nobody rams like a ram does. Better wait for an opening.
Good description. Don't worry about it. Enemies defeated. 400. These bat nuisances boast quite their repertoire. Supersonic confusion waves? Yep. Vampiric drain attack? Just wonderful. Also, I did not know they had a drain attack.
Did not either. Although that actually does explain quite a lot. Tricklemane. Enemies defeated. 140. These bouncy pincushions take stick and move to a whole new level. Look out when they turn red with rage.
Heavy rep. Enemies defeated. 172. Hyperactive and real handful. These reptiles rocket hard when they roll. Dodge their attacks and then counter.
Sir Kiru. Enemies defeated? 1, 1, 1. Count on these little guys to stand by your side. They've got the sword and sorcery down, but a dose of fire will melt their courage. Apparently, none of the spirits like fire that much. Whereas this spirit deals with fire perfectly well. No? No one? Okay.
It's a frog. Why can't the frog deal with fire?
I know, right?
Talks, Amanda. Enemies defeated. Oh, 1, 2, 3. These easygoing Dream Eaters still know how to play hardball. While you're snoozing, it's poison, confusion, they're oozing. Approach with caution.
Ben Fatale. Enemies defeated. 71. 2 fish placers. Before you get blasted, bring the thunder, and you might just chop their gills off.
Tatsu Steed. Enemies defeated. 80. These bubble blowers are dead eyes at long range and punching bags up close. Now, where would you rather be? Well, mid-range, obviously. There's a clear advantage there. They didn't say anything about mid-range.
Seriously? Neko Cat. Enemies defeated. 273. This feline knows it's better than you. What? It is better than you? Okay. It doesn't walk, it dances. It doesn't use magic. Hits you with magical awesomeness.
That's one way to word it.
Sure. Close the distance and put this cat on the mat.
Thunder Wrath. Oh my god. I like how the text is like
I know, like, they ran out of spaces and started running.
Thunder Wrath. Enemies defeated. 10,000 or 1,015. I don't know. The text confused me.
It feels like there's still open space on the right they could have used, but no.
Yeah. You know how fast lightning is? Well, these Dream Eaters don't, because they leave it in the dust every time. They move in straight lines though, so just make sure you stay out of their way.
Panda. Enemies defeated. 144. The bigger they are, the harder they claw. Ellipses. It'll take more than a few punches to punch to make this lumbering panda see stars.
Giga Slick. Enemies defeated. 1,020. The
This
1
was
and the
probably
D
on
are
my
literally
grinding.
touching. They're literally touching each other, the one and the D.
Yep.
Well, this winged gale force menace is trying to tether the weather. Hey, that rhymed. You should be taking it down before it's too late.
Ice and Ace. Enemies defeated. 163. These chill customers will slip in for the attack and slide out to hit opponents with a blast of cold. To them, fire is most dire. Nice rhyme.
No, I appreciate they do this for every single game. Oh, that is a beautiful number right there.
I know, right?
Peeps to who? Enemies defeated. A 999. This wise guy uses scan to find weaknesses and attack accordingly, but completing the scan takes time. Isn't that a weakness too?
Yes. Escarglow. Enemies defeated. 141. Homebodies who like to hide in invincible shells. Only problem? Too many attacks will cause the shell to pop right off, leading to blushing and potential bruises.
Don't hurt Escarglow like that. KO Kabuto. Enemies defeated. 153. With a cannon for a horn and an ironclad frontal defense, this shooting beetle battler will be tough to dent unless you can get behind it. Oh, is that how you actually hit the guys when they
Oh, so I guess they're supposed to be like the game's variant of large bodies, but they're
I
too
guess.
small, so nobody really thinks to do it like that. Anyway, Reflower. Enemies defeated. 108. These Dream Eaters stick by their friends, dishing out flower power to keep their HP in the green.
Flower power. Ghost Tabaki. Look how hungry I am. Enemies defeated. 62. A white that can blink out of sight and fight with the sprite height frights is tight. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
But smite it with light and it's nighty night. This is my favorite
That
description so
kinda-
far.
I know, that kind of hurt to listen to, but I love it. Solifant. Enemies defeated. 58. Throw this Titan into a tizzy, and you had better take cover. But once the tantrum tapers off, it's wide open.
Jugglepup. Enemies defeated. 55. Their poker faces are hard to read, and every attack is a gamble. But on a good day, these Dream Eaters will seal the deal.
Halberd. Enemies defeated. 76. Hit and run air strikers that pester their prey. While their tactics are sound, why do they stop to gloat every time they land a hit?
Is that when they dab?
I think so.
Staggerceps. Enemies defeated. 65. This distant fighter has a chest-mounted cannon and ammo that can lock down movement and commands.
Fishbone A. Enemies defeated. 127. When this fish falls apart, it's only just getting started. It can disassemble itself to dodge and launch lasers from afar.
Flabbermeow. Enemies defeated. 3. It's fast, it's floral, and unlike Meow Wow, fire won't phase it. Only problem, along with being part dog and cat, this one seems to be part chicken. Beat it and luck might favor you. I struggled to read that last sentence.
Cyberyog. Enemies defeated. 135. Here's
Hircine?
deer bastard that shoots lasers from its horns. Once the blast-a-thon subsides, though, it's open season.
Uh-oh. I thought you quit your hunting job, Mayo. Chef Hyrule. Enemies defeated. 114. Frog's legs are definitely not on this food meister's menu. He's skilled with the skillet and ready to stir up all kinds of surprises.
Mordecaier. Enemies defeated. 4. What? Shouldn't it only be 1?
What?
I didn't even beat him on the beginner mode playthrough, so where's the extra 3? And I only needed, I think I needed 2 rounds to beat him on the critical playthrough, because I didn't do it in 1, but I got pretty
At
far.
most it should be 2.
Yeah, I don't know where the 4's coming from.
Maybe he pops up as a rare enemy.
Yeah, maybe
in
he's
one of
a rare
some
enemy in one of the
counties.
portals.
Yeah.
Master of the Sword and Sorcerer with the most. This brave little smarty pants makes for a staunch companion, unless he catches fire.
Of course, because the amphibians have problem with fire. Tatsu Blaze, enemies defeated, 114. Prepare for burnination and other horrible punishments at the hands of this fireball spout and multi-talent.
Electricorn, enemies defeated, 981.
You
To
massacred
electric
so many unicorns.
Yeah, I think this might have been one on my grind path too. Do electric unicorns dream of androids? More importantly, can you stop this thunderslinger before it's done gathering juice? I have questions about that first sentence, but okay.
Yeah, what does the first sentence have to do with anything? Wowflower, enemies defeated, 108. This Dream Eater is a total downer, inflicting negative status effects left and right and getting pouty when companions leave it behind.
Justabaki, enemies defeated, 146. When this spoofy spook isn't pretending to be prizes, it's trying to nab the real ones. And there's your opportunity to strike.
Yogaidr, also known as Dabber, number 2. Enemies defeated, 101. A total natural in the sky, the super sniper has the very unfortunate habit of gloating when it lands a shot. Yeah,
it must be then, because this one also mentions its habit. Mimi Bunny, enemies defeated, 71. This cutie may play the darling, but watch out. It knows Bun Fu. Back away and pick these fluffy pests off from a distance.
It's true, they do know Bun Fu. Drill Sai, enemies defeated, 111. Once upon a time, there was a powerful rhino that could transform into a ball of spikes, but hated magic. Well, you probably know where this is going. No, I don't. Tell me.
Wait, is this the same one where when you're trying to craft it, it's like it says there's a powerful creature that can do something but hates magic, and this is its story? Is this the same one? If so, that's kind of lazy.
Yeah, I think so.
Toronto Rex. Enemies defeated, 21. Second, or possibly first, most vicious Dream Eater out there. Put it on ice before it puts you in a tough spot. Well, okay, then who's the other possibly first most vicious? Can't just bait us like that.
Magic Lapin, enemies defeated, 72. Whoever pulled this rabbit out of a hat taught it a few spells of its own. Fun fact, its left ear and right ear each fire off their own magic. Oh, that is a nice little fun fact. Thank you, game.
Sarah Terror, enemies defeated, 47. This Dream Eater has 2 modes, high defense and a mastery of melee. But magic is enough to admire it, and it's prone to negative status effects. Okay, so apparently this thing is really good at Smash Brothers, but I don't know how that helps anybody.
Skelta Wild, enemies defeated, 18. This Skelly's head and body are like 2 pesky Dream Eaters in one, but fire will send it back to the grave.
I'm wondering that fire is apparently really overpowered in this game.
Yeah, apparently.
Like, seriously, how many creatures here have resisted fire, or have been vulnerable to fire? Ducky Goose.
Almost everyone.
Seriously. Enemies defeated, 70. After a few rounds of Duck Goose with this cracker packing loon, just about anyone would want to shove him into his own Jack-in-the-Box. Oh, that's kind of rude.
That's mean. Aura Lion, enemies defeated, 67. Self-styled king of the dream jungle, and he does look pretty regal when he's firing off that aura. But bow not to this king, it's your turn to dodge and deliver. Or just brute force it.
Yeah. Enemies defeated, 44. Land and air are 2 separate playgrounds for this mythical monstrosity. But even a big, smart, fast contender like this can be put on ice. Literally.
Drac Quack. Enemies defeated, 105. This quack likes to toy around, dancing maddeningly out of reach and blasting you with fireworks. Close the distance and shut this clown down.
Tiger. Enemies defeated, 54. What's there to say about this aura-wielding speed demon? It doesn't fire its aura that often, so look for your chance and take it.
Majesty. The crown says it all. Get this meow wow mammoth bouncing and you've got yourself a battlefield full of royal pancakes.
Neku, a heavy rep with style and threads and a serious dude. Whatever's piped through those phones says, turned his inner emo into outer aggro.
I hate it.
Okay, next one.
That is the worst one yet. Fruits
Either made me
Cat.
laugh.
Punishingly pink at sinister levels of sweet, this Neko cat snipes opponents with magic and heals buddies with fancy footwork.
Where's the circus? This big top buffoon version of Kuma Panda might seem tame, but let your guard down, and you'll be the one jumping through hoops.
It's mean, they called him a buffoon. Cab Cannon. Who wouldn't want to KO Kabuto with a fiercer horn, adaptive ammo switching, and rock hard defense? Its enemies, that's who. I mean, you're not wrong.
Honored Arceus. When this siesta-loving juggle Plat rolls the dice, it might pay off big, or it might just backfire. Hope it brought traveler's insurance. Oh, you get your favorite one.
Yeah! I would have stole it from you anyways.
Fair.
Without your consent. Cat Nuki. This mischievous Meow lookalike wears his leaf proudly, a natural born trickster. He surprises everyone with his crazy antics.
Beetle, a ferocious-looking Zolifant who's sweet as sugar to his pals, but a bestial brute to his foes.
Oh yeah. Tub Ace. Not your ordinary iced Ace. After chilling in a nice warm bath, this cool cat, he's not a cat, is now the master of both fire and ice.
Okay, I don't know why we're counting the bosses, but...
Because they're nightmares.
Yeah, I guess technically. Spelican. Enemies defeated. 2. A magically malicious opponent that summons crystal puppet brooms and monstrous meteors to make life generally less pleasant. I would say that is a very good description. Specifically, the making life generally less pleasant part. That's very accurate.
Comantis. A persistent customer that attacks by firing discs. And hold on, let me reread that. I lost my train, or not my train of thought, my freaking line. A persistent customer that attacks by firing discs and light ribbons. You can wear it down, but it will get right back up as soon as it's done recharging.
I didn't want to cut you off there, but excuse me, light?
Oh, light.
Okay, thank you. Get these. Charclopson. Enemies defeated. 3. Fire Sling and Tailspin and Speed Demon that will cling to the ceiling one moment and dance circles around you the next.
Yeah, why did you fight 3 of those? It's confusing. Maybe it doesn't count the Monstro one for some reason.
Maybe?
Wait, no, this is the Monstro one.
Yeah,
now
okay,
you fight one as Sora, remember?
Oh yeah.
It was Riku or whatever.
Yeah, for the rematch and Traverse Town, yeah.
Yeah.
Although don't you fight...
Don't you fight one? Oh, okay. Chill Clobster. Enemies defeated 2. A feisty fighter that's packing pincers, lasers, bombs, and all kinds of nastiness. Watch out for when it overheats. That's when it pulls out the real heavy artillery.
Pocket Monkey. Enemies defeated 5. Okay, yeah, so it does include the ones you fight in the rematch. That's what I was going to ask. A wild opponent with 2 personalities and 3 types of arms. The Brute switches between beefy bruisers and scrummy jack-in-the-boxers, while the Mage summons magic hands that float around blasting magic and bashing heroes.
It's kind of mean.
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly! Enemies defeated 2. A hit-and-run menace that pokes out of the ceiling and walls, flinging stray objects your way or taking swipes with its claws.
Gargoyle. Enemies defeated 5. Float like a butterfly, sting like a gargoyle. This fiend can do serious damage from a distance, or swoop in for a 1-2 wallop with its twin hammers. Those are not hammers. Okay.
Yeah, those are more like drills.
Mm-hmm.
Brawlamari. Enemies defeated 4. 6-armed arsenal with a twin sword, Akels. Forged laser coals, and a million ways to use them. I had to figure out how how they were trying to pun it.
Queen Buzzerfly. Enemies defeated 4. queen, as it turns out, of the buzzerflies. They fight as a swarm. She pummels the stingers in pollen while her drones take a more direct approach.
It's true. Anti-black coat. Okay, when did you defeat 2 of these guys? Did it count the one when you had to go back?
Shouldn't have. Although I think
Sweet.
I actually did fight 2 of them because where my Riku save is, that's after this fight, so I must have fought 2 of them.
Yes. So yeah, anti-black coat. Enemies defeated 2. A mysterious menace clad in black coat. He can teleport and attack from all ranges to get the drop on you. Don't be too tenacious and just look for an opening and strike when you can. I didn't think this thing was a nightmare. I thought it was something else.
I guess it is technically a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a nightmare to beat. Ayo.
And we are an hour and 1 minute. I think that's a good place to stop for now. We'll get these last 2 categories done in the next video.
Yeah, that's what I figured we could do. It should only be the story and glossary that are really big. We already did all the game record stuff,
Yeah, I don't.
technically speaking.
I think the character files are going to be like 20 minute stops. Probably not even that.
Yeah, they're probably gonna be super short. Can't wait to reread Sora like 7 times with like a 1-word difference. Same with Riku.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be the best part.
Seriously, see y'all then. Take care, goodbye. All toasters toast.
Chicken tenders, and don't forget, Diz, aka Ansem the Wise, is an asshole.